Dear students, you are watching the third part of the lesson on saying please. This part contains paragraph number 5, 6, 7 and 8. I should like to feature in this connection my friend the polite conductor. Here the writer wants to say something about a polite conductor. By this discriminating title, I do not intend to suggest a rebuke to conductors generally. See the word rebuke. Rebuke means sharp, stern disapproval or act of speaking angrily. Here, the writer uses the word polite conductor. He is not discriminating the conductors and he does not intend to suggest a rebuke on conductors. Here, the writer does not want to scold other conductors, or here, the writer does not want to say something bad about other conductors. On the contrary, I am disposed to think that there are few classes of men who come through the ordeal of a very trying calling better than bus conductors do. On the contrary, these people like conductors come through the ordeal means very difficult and painful experience, and they work very sincerely. Here and there you will meet an unpleasant specimen who regards the passengers as his natural enemies, as creatures whose chief purpose on the bus is to cheat him, and who can only be kept reasonably honest by a loud voice and an aggressive manner. But sometimes it happens that we meet such a conductor who regards, who thinks the passengers as his natural enemies, and their chief purpose is to cheat the conductor. So, this type of conductor thinks that these passengers can be kept reasonably honest only by a loud voice and an aggressive manner. According to the writer, this type of a conductor is rare. See, I am reading, but this type is rare, rarer than it used to be. I fancy the public owes much to the underground railway company which also runs the buses. Here, the writer says that the public should be thankful to the underground railway company who also runs the buses. Here, why should we be thankful to the underground railway company? The reason is given for insisting on a certain standard of civility in its servants and taking care that standard is observed. This underground railway company insists on, means demands, a certain standard of civility. Civility means politeness. This railway company expects or demands politeness, good manners, certain standard of civility in its servants, and the company takes care of it. In doing this, it not only makes things pleasant for the traveling public but performs an important social service. In this way, this underground railway company makes the things pleasant for the travelers and also does an important social service. The travelers find pleasant atmosphere in the bus, and in this way this railway company does or performs an important social service. It is not therefore with any feeling of unfriendliness to conductors as a class that I pay a tribute to a particular member of that class. To pay a tribute means to honor or to praise someone. Here the writer does not have any feeling of unfriendliness to conductors, but he wishes to pay a tribute one particular conductor. He wants to honor one particular conductor. He wants to praise one particular conductor. I first became conscious of his existence one day when I jumped on to a bus and found that I had left home without any money in my pocket. Once the writer was traveling into the bus and found that he didn't have the money in his pocket. everyone has had the experience and knows the feeling, the mixed feeling which the discovery aroses. Every one of us has had such experience in life where there aroses the mixed feeling while traveling in the bus. The writer felt the same feelings for the conductor. You are annoyed because you look like a fool at the best and like a knave at the worst. What are those mixed feelings? If you don't have the money and you are into the bus, at that time you are annoyed, you are irritated, you are angry because you look like a fool at the best. And also, you look like a knave at the worst. See the word knave. Knave means a dishonest person. The conductor, see, I'm reading. You would not be at all surprised if the conductor eyed you coldly as much as to say, yes, I know that stale old trick. Now then, off you get. The conductor would say that he knows such old tricks of his passengers to cheat him and tell you to get out from the bus. And even if the conductor is a good fellow and lets you down easily, you are faced with the necessity of going back and the inconvenience perhaps of missing your train or your engagement. But sometimes the conductor is a good fellow. He allows you to go down easily. But the trouble increases. See, the word inconvenience means trouble or a difficulty that increases when you have to go back or miss your train or your important meeting. Having searched my pockets in vain for stray coppers and having found I was utterly penniless, I told the conductor with as honest a face as I could assume that I couldn't pay the fare and must go back for money. The writer searched his pockets but couldn't get the money. Then he told the conductor that he could not pay the fare and he wanted to go back for money. See the word coppers. Coppers means coins of low value. Oh, you needn't get off. That's all right, said he. All right, said I, but I haven't a copper on me. Oh, I will book you through, he replied. Where would you want to go? And he handled his bundle of tickets with the air of a man who was prepared to give me a ticket for anywhere from the bank to Hong Kong. But the conductor was kind and generous. He allowed the writer to travel and gave him tickets, as if he was giving him the tickets for anywhere from the bank to Hong Kong. I said it was very kind of him and told him where I wanted to go. And as he gave me the ticket, I said, but where shall I send the fare? Oh, you will see me someday, all right, he said cheerfully. He turned to go, and then luckily, my fingers still wandering in the corner of my pocket lighted on a shilling, and the account was squared. The conductor was not worried about the money as he gave the ticket to the writer. The conductor told the writer to pay it when the writer would see him someday. The writer observed here the cheerfulness of the conductor. Luckily, the writer got 1 shilling in his pocket and the account was squared. Squared means settled. He gave the money to the conductor. But the fact did not lessen the glow of pleasure which so good natured an action had given me. But by doing this, it did not lessen. See the word lessen, Lessen, means to become less or reduce. It did not lessen the influence of good natured conductor in the bus. Writer was very much influenced by that good nature. A few days after, my most sensitive toe was trampled on rather heavily as I sat reading on the top of a bus. A few days after, the writer's toe was trampled on, that means crushed under feet, as he sat on the top of the bus. I looked up with some anger and more agony and saw my friend of the cheerful countenance. The writer looked up angrily and he saw the same conductor with cheerful countenance. Countenance means face or facial expressions. Sorry, sir, he said. I know these are heavy boots. Got them because my own feet get trod on so much, and now I am treading on other people's. Hope I didn't hurt you, sir. He had hurt me, but he was so nice about it that I assured him he hadn't. The conductor said sorry to the writer and gave the reason why he wore such the heavy boots. Here, the writer assured him that he didn't hurt him because the conductor spoke very nicely to him. He said sorry, and because of such nice words, writer forgot his pains and he convinced the conductor that he hadn't hurt the writer. After this, I began to observe him whenever I boarded the bus and found a curious pleasure in the constant good nature of his bearing. See, the word bearing means posture. Posture means person's way of standing or moving. He seemed to have an inexhaustible fund of patience and a gift for making his passengers comfortable. The writer began to observe this good natured conductor. The conductor had an inexhaustible patience and gift of making passengers comfortable. I noticed that if it was raining, he would run up the stairs to give someone the tip that there was room inside. When it was raining, the conductor would run upstairs to tell someone that there was a room inside, means a vacant place inside the bus. With old people, he was as considerate as a son, and with children, as solicitous as a father. He was as considerate as a son with old people, and with children, he was as solicitous, means caring, as a father. He had evidently a peculiarly warm place in his heart for young people and always indulged in some merry jest with them. And for young people, there was always a warm place in his heart, and he enjoyed jokes with them. If he had a blind man on board, it was not enough to set him down safely on the pavement. If there was a blind passenger in the bus, he tried to set him down safely on the pavement. He would call to Bill in front to wait while he took him across the road or round the corner or otherwise safely on his way. At that time, he would call to the bus driver to wait for a while, and the conductor took the blind person across the road or round the corner or otherwise safely on his way. I found that he irradiated such an atmosphere of good temper and kindliness that a journey with him was a lesson in natural courtesy and good manners. The conductor irradiated means spread or produced an atmosphere of good temper and kindliness that a journey with him like someone teaches us natural courtesy and good manners. Thank you.